Hey everyone, today we're diving into the top 10 deadliest punishments in history. We'll rank them from number 10 to number 1, starting bad and ending with the absolute worst. These punishments are shocking, brutal, and hard to imagine. So, buckle up and let's begin. Coming in at number 10, Strappado. This brutal medieval punishment involved tying a prisoner's hands behind their back and lifting them into the air by a rope. The body's own weight caused extreme pain and often permanent damage to the shoulders. As the whole weight is on the shoulders, it results in dislocation of the shoulder joint and causes severe pain. Coming in at number 9, whipping. Whipping was a common punishment long ago. People were whipped for crimes like stealing, breaking rules, lying, or even cheating in love. Basically, if you did something wrong, the whip was waiting for you. Here's how it worked. The person was tied to a post or frame. Then the executioner hit them with a whip. The number of hits and how hard they were depended on the law. It was used in many places like Europe, the Middle East, Asia, and colonies. Often it was done in public so everyone could see. The goal was to teach a lesson and scare others from doing the same thing. Coming in at number 8, branding. This was the medieval version of a very permanent tattoo. Branding was used for crimes like stealing, escaping slavery, deserting the army, or being a repeat troublemaker. If you kept messing up, congratulations. You got branded. The method was painfully simple. A metal letter or symbol was heated in the fire until it was glowing hot, then pressed onto the skin. Usually the arm or shoulder. Sizzle, and done. The idea wasn't just pain, it was shame. The mark stayed forever, letting everyone know, yep, this guy messed up. Coming in at number 7, keelhauling. This punishment was used mainly at sea, especially by naval forces in Europe during the 16th and 17th centuries. Here's how it worked. The sailor was tied with ropes and thrown over one side of the ship. Then, brace yourself, they were dragged under the ship's hull and pulled out from the other side. Sounds like a terrible swimming lesson, right? During this process, the person's body rubbed hard against the rough wooden ship, scraping and injuring the skin as they were dragged along. The sharp wood and barnacles made every second painful, while the rope kept pulling them forward. Sometimes this punishment was done only once as a warning, but if the goal was to kill the person, the crew would repeat it again and again, dragging them under the ship multiple times, until the sailor could not survive anymore. Sailors faced keelhauling for serious crimes like mutiny, disobedience, fighting officers, or breaking strict ship rules. Coming in at number 6, Scaphism. Scaphism was an ancient Persian punishment used for the most serious crimes, like treason or murder. It was designed to be slow and terrifying, rather than quick. The victim was trapped between two small boats so they couldn't move. Only the head, hands, and feet were left outside. They were force-fed milk and honey not to help them, but to make things worse. The milk and honey caused stomach problems and diarrhea, which weakened the body and made the person dirty and helpless. At the same time, honey was smeared on the exposed skin. Honey attracts insects, flies, and other small animals. Because the person couldn't move or clean themselves, insects would gather, bite, and lay eggs. The punishment was meant to be slow and cruel, causing suffering over many days, making Scaphism one of the most feared ancient punishments. Coming in at number 5, the breaking wheel. Now, we are slowly moving toward the deadliest punishments. Watch till the end to see the most deadly of all. Here's how it went down. The unlucky criminal got tied to a big wooden wheel, basically a medieval torture gadget. Then, someone with a really heavy club or hammer started hitting their arms and legs. Ouch. The goal was to break bones and leave the person dangling helplessly for hours. Sometimes they even raised the whole wheel on a pole so the entire town could watch and take a lesson. Damn. Too scary, however, this is how justice was served back then. Coming in at number 4, the Brazen Bull. This one looks like a statue, until you find out what it was actually used for. The Brazen Bull was a hollow metal bull, usually made of bronze. The victim was locked inside through a small door. Then a fire was lit underneath. As the metal heated up, the inside became unbearably hot. The bull had special pipes built in, so the victim's screams came out sounding like a bull's roar, terrifying and cruel by design. From the outside, it looked like a dramatic sculpture, but inside, it was a slow and painful punishment. Coming in at number 3, Crucifixion. This was an ancient punishment, used mainly by the Romans for serious crimes. It was meant to be slow and scary, so everyone who watched would think twice before breaking the law. First, a wooden cross was prepared. The person was placed on it with arms stretched out. Thick iron nails were used to fix the hands or wrists to the cross, and another nail held the feet. A hammer was the main tool used to drive the nails in place. After this, the cross was lifted and fixed into the ground in a standing position along a public path, where passing people could clearly see it. The person remained hanging there for a very long time, exposed to sun, wind, and time itself, until life slowly faded away. Eventually, only a thin skeletal outline remained on the cross, turning the punishment into a lasting warning for everyone who walked past. So, now we move to our top 2 deadliest punishments, and at number 2, we have impalement. Honestly, this punishment is so brutal that it could have been ranked number 1, but believe me, the top spot is even slower and more painful. So, let's begin with impalement. In this punishment, a long wooden pointed pole was fixed upright and heavily greased with oil. The victim was suspended above it, and as the body slowly moved downward under its own weight, the pole began entering the lower part of the body, inch by inch. Over time, the pole continued rising inside and eventually emerged from the upper body, sometimes near the mouth or even the head. This process was carried out carefully to avoid damaging vital organs, keeping the victim alive as long as possible. In many cases, the victim survived for nearly a full day, fully conscious and in pain, before finally dying, making impalement one of the most terrifying punishments in history. So now we're moving toward the last one, Lingchi, also known as death by 1,000 cuts. According to me, this is the deadliest punishment because it was extremely slow and unbearably painful. In this method, the person was tightly tied with ropes, arms, and legs spread open so they could not move. Instead of one deadly wound, the executioners made very small, controlled cuts, carefully avoiding vital areas, so the person would not die quickly. This process was repeated over many hours and even days, sometimes lasting 3 to 4 days. In some cases, the victim was even given food or water to keep them alive longer. Lingchi was designed not for speed, but for prolonged suffering, making it one of the most feared punishments in history. And with that, we come to the end. Looking back at these ancient punishments, we can truly say how lucky we are not to be born in those times, when cruelty and justice were mixed in the most terrifying ways. History reminds us how far humanity has come, and how important it is to never return to such darkness. So, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, and see you next time.